This video is shorter than the others because traditional Chinese medicine is not something that you can administer yourself. You will need to find a qualified practitioner. However, it has been shown to be extremely helpful, so it is important that we cover it in the plan. In this section, we'll firstly cover what traditional Chinese medicine actually is. There seems to be a lot of mystique, so we'll clear things up at the outset. We'll then look at how acupuncture can boost your chances of IVF success and how Chinese herbs can improve things further. Let's go. In the West, people are often skeptical about things that are outside their cultural norm, things that do not fit with their perception of the world. If it sounds different, then it is frequently treated with suspicion rather than approached with an open mind. This is a shame because by closing our minds, we may miss out on things that can be beneficial to us. Traditional Chinese medicine is an example of this. When I talk to friends about it, the view is usually that it is some sort of weird and wondrous hocus pocus involving strange herbs and sticking pins in people. None of the people I spoke to would even think about trying it. When you consider that TCM can trace its roots back much further than Western medicine, it would be ignorant and arrogant of us in the West to discount it. Not only are many people skeptical about the approach used in TCM, they also tend to not be aware of the benefits. This is particularly the case where fertility issues are concerned. Before we get into how TCM can assist with IVF, a bit of background may be helpful. The approach taken by TCM practitioners is very different to that taken by Western doctors. TCM has its own methods of diagnosis, treatment, and prognosis. It is based on the principle that the universe, including us, is interdependent and interrelated. In other words, nothing exists in isolation. Everything is part of a whole. An issue may appear in one area of the body, but its root cause may actually lie in another area. As a consequence of this, the goal of TCM is to create balance and harmony in our body, in the belief that by doing so, good health will follow. Fundamental to this is the concept of yin and yang, and the need for balance between these two things. Without balance, TCM believes that illness and poor health can occur. To diagnose patients, TCM practitioners use very different methods to Western medics. Whereas doctors in the West may take blood, measure blood pressure, arrange scans, etc., TCM practitioners rely on one or a combination of 4 methods. Inspection. Observing the patient's mental state, physical appearance, complexion, posture, and tongue, and examining bodily secretions. Listening and smelling. Assessing the sound and smell of the patient's voice, breathing, and bodily secretions. Inquiring. Understanding the patient's medical history, their lifestyle, habits, age, occupation, details of any condition, and questioning about anything observed by the practitioner in their examination. Palpation. Feeling areas of the patient's body to understand, amongst other things, the pulse, chest, abdomen, and extremities. There are many different methods of treatment used in TCM, including herbal medicines, acupuncture, massage, meditation, and exercise. But to try to keep things as simple as possible, I have focused on the methods that have been shown to be the most effective when it comes to IVF: acupuncture and herbal medicine. For those who don't know, acupuncture is a treatment involving the insertion of tiny needles into the skin at various points around our body. How can having pins stuck in us help improve our chances of IVF success? To Westerners, the concept may seem completely alien, whereas to people in the East, it is a standard medical treatment. In TCM, how energy flows around our body is another important principle. TCM believes that when energy, called qi, flows smoothly around our body, health is maintained. But when the energy is obstructed, disease, pain, or illness can occur. The overall aim of acupuncture is to remove any blockages and to preserve the smooth flow of energy. When it comes to acupuncture and fertility, there is a lot of research, but there is also a lot of controversy. It is not clear whether the controversy stems, in part at least, from ignorance or whether there is something more to it. When my wife and I went through the research, we decided that we had to include acupuncture as part of our preparations. Let's look at the study showing how powerful acupuncture can be. The table on the next slide illustrates how effective acupuncture can be in helping women undergoing IVF. I'll pause for a moment so you can have a quick look at the results. As you can see, acupuncture can significantly boost success rates, whether it is carried out in the run-up to an IVF cycle or just on the day of embryo transfer. The former is more effective, as it involves multiple sessions and also has the potential to influence egg quality. It is also worth noting that acupuncture has been shown to decrease miscarriage rates significantly. In addition to the studies in the table, a number of meta-analysis studies have been carried out which evaluate the results of previous research. One such review, published in the prestigious British Medical Journal, concluded that acupuncture increased the chances of IVF success by between 65% and 91%, depending on the outcome used: clinical pregnancy rate, ongoing pregnancy rate, and live birth rate. Based on these studies, my wife had acupuncture in the lead up and on the day of embryo transfer. There are a few studies that look at the effect of acupuncture on men undergoing IVF, but there are several that show improvements in sperm quality. Again, I'll pause for a moment to allow you to review. There are some impressive results here. How does acupuncture deliver these effects? As far as women are concerned, experts from the Weill Cornell Medical Center in New York concluded that acupuncture increases blood flow to the womb and ovaries, improves the quality and thickness of womb lining, reduces the level of certain stress hormones, lowers the risk of miscarriage, regulates the level of hormones critical to fertility. With men, it seems the benefits of acupuncture are a result of raising testosterone levels, lowering the temperature of the scrotum, improving blood flow in and around the testes, slowing down the rate at which sperm degrade, reducing inflammation, improving the maturing process of sperm. Herbal medicine. I'll admit that some of the herbal brews that my wife took during preparations for our first embryo transfer looked and smelt pretty bad. By all accounts, they tasted that way too. There are a number of ways that Chinese herbs can be taken, but my wife was given a different blend of dried herbs each week and had to brew a batch every other day, drinking the strained liquid morning and night. Each week, the herbal blend was altered slightly based on the practitioner's assessment of her health at the time. For the second cycle, she opted for the pills. Whereas acupuncture may seem out there to many, herbal medicine may feel more familiar to those in the West. After all, herbal preparations are available over the counter, and many drugs are formulated from herbs. My wife and I certainly believe that taking Chinese herbs helped us, and a number of studies suggest that they may be beneficial to women. Take a look at the following tables. Chinese herbs, whether taken before or during treatment, can boost our chances. They have been shown to be effective where fertility issues are caused by a variety of conditions, including two of the most common: PCOS and endometriosis. Once again, in men, Chinese herbs also show promise. I'll pause once more to let you have a look. What can we do? As I said at the beginning, Unlike other steps in this plan, TCM is not something that you can implement yourself. If you decide to try it out, you should find a TCM practitioner that is experienced in treating fertility issues, and specifically, people undergoing IVF. Accurately prescribing TCM treatments requires the practitioner to detect very subtle changes in our bodies, and because of this, experience is essential. My wife and I were lucky because not only were we able to find such a person, he is also a doctor who had trained in Western medicine in China, so was able to look at things from both perspectives. If you can find such a practitioner, I would recommend consulting with them. It is also important to ensure that your IVF doctor is fully aware of any treatment that you receive. By ensuring that everyone works together, you will give yourself the best chance of receiving maximum benefit from TCM.